Hello, today the Church of England commemorates John Donne, the 17th century poet and priest and indeed Dean of St Paul's Cathedral. While I was looking for a poem just now to read at midday prayer, I came across a really interesting prose piece by Donne from a sermon preached on the 12th of December 1626, and this excerpt is entitled Inattention at Prayer. I'll just read it to you. But when we consider, with a religious seriousness, the manifold weaknesses of the strongest devotions in time of prayer, it is a sad consideration. I throw myself down in my chamber, and I call in and invite God and his angels thither. And when they are there, I neglect God and his angels, for the noise of a fly, for the rattling of a coach, for the winding of a door. I talk on in the same posture of praying, eyes lifted up, knees bowed down, as though I prayed to God. And if God or his angels should ask me when I thought last of God in that prayer, I cannot tell. Sometimes I find that I had forgot what I was about. But when I began to forget it, I cannot tell. A memory of yesterday's pleasures, a fear of tomorrow's dangers, a straw under my knee, a noise in mine ear, a light in mine eye, and anything and nothing, a fancy, a shimmer in my brain, troubles me in my prayer. So certainly is there nothing in spiritual things, perfect in this world. And that really struck me at the time, because I don't know about you, but I'm finding it hard to pray at this time. And partly that's because a lot of my praying isn't done in church anymore, where it's quite quiet and still. But here in my office, and maybe even outside, you can hear the sound of lorries rattling and cars honking their horns and so on. And that's distracting. And in particular, as well, I find that as you know, we've been live streaming prayer services on Facebook, and other churches have been doing so as well. And I've been engaging with some of those, and it's not easy. It's not that easy to sit and take part in a live streamed morning prayer or evening prayer or midday prayer, I find. And probably for lots of reasons. Maybe just at this time we're all full of anxious energy and adrenaline, and so many things are popping into our brains. But also I think just watching prayer services on these devices, you're so used to actually picking up your phone or tablet or computer and using that to look at Facebook or to look at what your friends are doing, or to look at the news or something, that it's kind of wired into your brain. You pick it up and immediately you feel distracted, you want to do something else. So it's quite hard to use the same thing for something peaceful, like a time of prayer. I put on the internet last week some tips, just some simple tips maybe for trying to make it easier to engage with live streaming prayer services, such as, if you can, try and make a special quiet place on your own in the corner of a room, maybe with some, like a candle or a picture or something to focus on, to make it seem special, to help focus, to try and avoid using your phone or whatever for just surfing the internet or checking social media before you live stream a service. But also I wanted to say to people, I feel terribly distracted when I do it. I find it hard to concentrate. And so part of it is just not worrying about it, letting go. If you find yourself distracted, just offer it up to God, come back to it. And sometimes it's okay just to sit and let it wash over you, and sometimes that's an easier way to concentrate on it. And just returning to Donne, I thought that last line from his the excerpt from his sermon here. So certainly there is nothing in spiritual things perfect in this world. And it's true. And I find it reassuring for a great man, a poet and a Dean of St Paul's, to hear him say that. And it's true that in this world we will struggle for and won't find we're able to attend perfectly on God as we ought to do. To adore him as much as he deserves for his magnificence and kindness and beauty and wisdom and wonderfulness. To give thanks properly for all that he has done for us in giving us Jesus Christ. But it is our hope and our prayer that someday, at the end of time, we will find time for perfect prayer.